Hey guys, Number3 here, and today I'm showing you a little program I made for Prison Architect. And this program is called Prison Calc, as in prison calculator, except shortened so it doesn't, I don't know, sound ridiculously long. And this is version 0.2, and I just want to go over a few of the features and just talk about it a little bit. So as you can see from the main screen here, currently only has one function, which I'll cover in just a second, but some self-plugs down there. Anyways, and just so everyone knows who's already downloaded it, you can check for updates by either clicking down here or right-clicking and going check for update. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. And for those of you who don't know what Prison Architect is, it is a game where you basically design a prison. Just Google it. I'm sure there's lots of videos about it. But yeah, I'll jump right into it here. So this is the cell block calculator, and again, I'm going to talk basically from the perspective of people who know what the game is. So it comes default set up with the number of cells in the building set up so you can get the federal grant for the cell block A or whatever it is. Can't think of it right off the top of my head. But you can scroll up or down between how many cells you want in the building. I'm going to go with, I think I usually make mine about 20 cells in the building. And then you can adjust how big your cells are. So by minimum, it has to be 3 by 2 or 2 by 3, whichever. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but it is possible to go 2 by 2 in this calculator. Just because I hadn't added in the redundancy of saying, you know, if length is 2, width has to be 3, or vice versa. And actually, before I carry on with those, I'd like to add in that this can go all the way up to 96 cells. Why 96? Because on most maps, and that's in the default format, which again we'll cover in just a minute, the map width is 200, I think, or something like that. So 96 cells brings you very close, and if I just increase the width by 4 here, as in, you know, adding another, or well, no, that'd be doubling the cell length. But anyways, this is set up so that no matter, well, how should I put this? It's best optimized to fit on the map. But anyways, we'll go back to 20 cells and I will continue here. So yeah, you can adjust the length of the cell, which obviously updates your final dimensions you want to make the building, as well as the width with those, and then hallway. And I'll cover that in just a second as well. So you see here we've got format and we've got two different setups. We've got linear and we've got default. So if you click over here on format, it'll explain those formats. So default format is walls around the perimeter with cells on either side of the central horizontal wall. So as you can see here, this is 4 cells, 3 by 2 width, and a 1 wide hallway. So we've got 4 cells on either side of a hallway, basically how it explains there. Now the linear format is cells along one wall with a hallway on one side. So here we've got 3 cells, so 1, 2, and 3, and then the hallway across the bottom. So that should explain this. So your hall width, you can choose how wide that hallway is. And obviously the wider you make it, regardless, oh, and you can also do 0, and that removes the hallway, and adjust those measurements accordingly. So if it's linear, obviously your building length is going to be 7, because we've got 3 for the cell, a wall, so now we're at 5, 1 for the hallway, and 6 for the wall on the other side of the hallway. So that makes up the 7 there. And default would be 11, because we do 7 on one side and 4 on the other. and yeah, that covers that stuff. So as you can see, it's screwing up my words here. I get ahead of myself. As you can see, these things update accordingly to just on-the-fly changes. Let's say I want to make them, deluxe 5x5. And so now I'd have to make my building 61 wide and 15 long, or 121 wide and 9 long. But I want double wide hallways, so now it's 121 by 10. So, and the width and length can be done interchangeably. You can have in the game, things are set up where you basically only have one view, so you can basically change up whether it's 121 by 10 or 10 by 121. Those are relatively interchangeable. And yeah, you can just click the format again to remove that. And I guess that basically sums up the whole cell block calculator. I found it incredibly helpful. I made it for myself at first because I could not stand making a cell block and having 2 blocks left over, or just some area that I couldn't fill. And this gets rid of that. Now I came up with the idea before they introduced the ability to shrink or expand your foundation buildings, but regardless, this allows you to do it in one fluid step as opposed to having to go back and change it later. So hope you guys enjoyed this little program. There will be a download link in the description down below, as well as a link to the forum page and to Prison Architect itself. It's an amazing game, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and just comment what you guys think about this. See ya.